So aggressive.
I mean, it's 2023. They could manage to have a better voice for that. Let's be perfect.
We'd hire you, Bill.
Yeah. This call is being recorded.
All right. Well, thank you all so much for being on this call, for joining us to hear about all the fun updates that we have. And it's just great to see your faces. I see some of our new creators on here. So a shout out to Maggie and Colleen for joining us on this call. They just joined recently, so welcome. And let's get to it. So actually, one thing I wanted to say, you'll see that this town hall is structured a little bit differently than our previous town halls. Something that we've been working really hard at as a team is bringing more of you creators involved in the mix and giving you all more control over what you're interested in. And what you'll see is that like we hand off the mic to the creators who are involved today, and you all are what keeps this going. You all are the reason that FoodSocial is what it is. And we were just reflecting on it today, and I like got a little emotional because I was like, this is, of course, it's still a work in progress, but this is very much what we've been working toward, is having you all involved and running the thing. So yeah, you'll hear from a lot of creators doing amazing work with FoodSocial. And if you want to get involved, when you want to get involved, you just say the word and we'll have a place for you. There's always room for you at our table. So Bill, do you want to take it away?
Absolutely. Just want to start off by saying I love seeing this group. Look how many people are on this call. This is amazing. So excited about it. When we last spoke, I think it was the first week of August, and our group was just embarking on doing some fundraising efforts for FoodSocial. I'm happy to report it's going really well. We are 80% of the way towards our goal, and it's pretty much been a very strong focus of mine specifically for the last couple of months, and I'm looking forward to being past it. But all that to say, we will still be taking investment for the next short while here, probably the next month or so. And so if any of you know folks who might be interested in learning about that, please reach out to me either by email, which is bill@foodsocial.io, or in our Slack workspace. You can just send me a direct message. But I'd love to connect with anyone who's interested in that. But it's going great. And that's the short update, that it's going to allow us to accelerate our growth. So yay us. I think it's the enthusiasm that we've seen has been a really clear reflection of the excitement of this group and what we're doing and this unique approach that we have towards building FoodSocial. So just wanted to communicate the excitement there, that things are going in a really good direction.
Major props for how incredibly hard you all have been working on the fundraising efforts.
It's been a different sort of thing for me. I've never done that before, but it's been really fun refining how we present FoodSocial. Those of you who have been on a lot of calls with me have probably noticed that I speak differently about the business now and about what we're doing with a lot more clarity and precision. And that's also brought a lot of clarity to the vision of where we're going and how we're building things too. And so it's been different for me, but it's been a lot of fun too.
Well, next we're gonna have Haley. Where are you, Haley? There you are. Haley Lucero. Am I calling on you too early?
Maybe.
I might be calling on her too early. Well, I'll chat about it at first. We're going to talk about, so we've really been working to expand our social team and getting more of you involved with helping run social media. And so let's get Allie to chat a little bit. Allie has been our Instagram rock star lately. Haley does the posts on Instagram, and then Allie has just been running the show. Allie, can you tell us a little bit about what you've been doing?
Sure. Hi, everyone. So I have been mostly engaging in stories and just trying to share more of the content that all of you are sharing. I'm resharing recipes that are going out in the newsletter for the Thursday 3 and then the Sunday meal plan. I'm reposting different stories that you're tagging FoodSocial and different posts that you're tagging in. So thank you all so much for continuing to do that. But it's been fun, and that's me behind the scenes on stories. So keep tagging. It helps a lot to just have our stories current with new recipes that are being pushed out, maybe existing recipes that you're resharing. And yeah, if you have any questions, let me know. But thanks for having me on the team.
If you see anyone commenting on your posts, it's probably Allie from the FoodSocial account.
Yeah, it's probably me.
Yes. And right along the lines of social media, Penny has been running our Facebook group and doing a beautiful job at engaging the community there. Penny, can you speak to what you've been doing a little bit?
Yeah, we just started a FoodSocial community group rather than what it used to be, a meal planning only group that was kind of set up under a business page. So I was running that for a bit and noticing that I just could not get engagement. My huge following of family and friends kept saying, well, this is annoying because we have to go search you to see it. And, it would be nicer if it was just something that popped up. So Bill finally created this page for us, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. One thing I did want to ask all of you, if possible, if any of this group, or maybe Pooja, you can send out a message, or I can do it on Slack. I would love if you would just drop a note in there and let me know what your name is on Facebook, because trying to tag people when I share your recipes. And right now I'm just trying to make it kind of fun and ask people what kind of recipes they want. I've been sharing some meal plans. I'm going to do a series like Winging It Wednesday, Meatball Mondays. I asked the other night what kind of food groups people follow, what their dietary preferences are. And I got huge responses on that. So I'm going to start doing some meal plans that'll kind of coincide with that. And the idea is, if you see it there, if it passes in front of you, leave a comment. We want to build it. Tell everybody, come follow. And I hope to feature, if you're okay with it, feature creators, maybe. I don't know how we'll do it yet, but maybe tell a little bit about you, what kind of recipe profiles you like. And I want to do the same for brands. And yeah, I just really want to grow it. I think it could go over pretty well. We just have to build the following. And I actually think we're doing pretty well, right, Bill? I think, what do we have, over 75 in a week?
I mean, I don't know. It's you're the one running it. I've sort of done this.
Yeah,
which is great. I love that.
Yeah, I think we got about 75 followers, and it's been a little over a week on the group end of it. So yeah, I think it'll be a lot of fun when it really takes off.
And Penny, because it's a group, anyone in the FoodSocial community can go and post a new recipe that they've shared, and the group will see it, which is kind of the magic of the group.
Yep, exactly.
It doesn't all have to be you. We want everybody to sort of participate and share the love a little bit.
Yeah, but I would love if you can, just give me a shout out if you're on Facebook, how I can find you. So if I do share one of your recipes and I'm tagging everybody, I can tag you and you'll see it, and you can hop on and, make a comment or something.
And Bill just shared the Facebook group link in the chat. If you all want to join the Facebook group, if you want to post on your stories for your community to join the Facebook group, it's just a great opportunity for people to see even more of the recipes on FoodSocial, help with meal planning. We have over 3,100 recipes on the platform now, and there's just so much to navigate. And so having a group like this is so helpful. So if you all want to take that and share it, that would be great.
Thank you.
Thank you, Penny. You've been amazing.
Thanks.
And I see the engagement that you've been getting. She mentioned she asked the question about dietary preferences, and a ton of people chimed in. So good.
Yeah,
good
it was nice.
It's not easy to build engagement on Facebook, and you are just a master at it.
Well, I don't know about that, but hopefully we can grow it.
And then Alicia, Alicia's been doing our Pinterest. I know that you've been going through a busier season right now, so you haven't been able to be as active on Pinterest, but she has been doing such a great job, and we're going to be connecting next week to just further support you in what you're doing. But do you just want to tell us a little bit about what it's been like on Pinterest?
Hi, sorry, if my work phone rings, I'll have to jump off. But I try to do at least 20 pins a month. And I'm just going through and trying to get a wide variety of creators. So I'm trying not to repeat because I know we have a lot of creators. So I just go through the recipes and pick random ones from creators that haven't had pins posted before. So you can reach out to me. Feel free to reach out to me if there's something that you really want to get on Pinterest, and I can get that up there for you. But I'm just trying to make it so that everybody is getting highlighted on there.
And you're doing a great job.
Thank you.
And I've seen a little more activity on the Pinterest too. And so that's been great. Just like with other people interacting with our pins, I've noticed that that's been going up. So good job. All right, now for the big podcast update. Michelle, is your internet, is your data?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you? Yes, you can hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay, great. The sun is really vivid, so I can't see many of you, but I'm here. Update. We're having a lot of fun. We are thrilled with, are we over 200 downloads, Pooja, as of today? Maybe, because I know we were close the other day.
Yeah, as of yesterday, we're over 200.
Okay.
Right now, we're inching toward 250.
Oh, that is so fun. We're having a lot of fun. Pooja and I, we feel spoiled that we get to engage with so many brands and the creators here. We've learned a lot about what we're doing, but I think the learning curve is flattening out a little bit. I think we're doing really great in terms of making it more efficient with what we do. And Pooja is the rock star. She's the one that edits everything. So as we work our way through every recording, she's working the magic on the back end, making it sound amazing. So, but we are, in about a month, we'll be done with all the recordings for season 1. And then we're going to start, I don't know, did we decide February, Pooja, to pick up and start recording for what will be season 2?
Probably like mid to late January and February to start recording.
Yeah. And so for any brands or creators that would like to join us, it's a lot of fun because it's not live. And so if there's things that we say that we want to rephrase it, we're doing that. And it's just really a nice sitting around talking with friends, and that's exactly the vibe I think we're pulling off. It's been a lot of fun, and I think the potential for folks listening to this and realizing the connections that we all have around food and the stories behind them make the connections even deeper. I really feel like we're going to gain some momentum, and it's been really fun to get this thing going after a year of talking about it. And yeah, I don't know if all of you have listened to any. Thank you, and tell all your friends to listen to.
So I see some friends on here who have been on the podcast. Morgan, can you tell us what your experience was like? Her interview is not live yet, but can you tell us what it felt like to be interviewed by us, besides really tense and uncomfortable?
Great timing as I was shoving a Mandarin in my mouth. Hi everybody. Yeah, no, it was a lot of fun.
Friends. It's okay. It's good.
As long as I'm not like picking my nose, right? So yeah, it was a lot of fun because it just really is like talking with girlfriends and chatting with like a virtual cup of coffee and just talking about what our lives are like in terms of the creator space. And it kind of just veered off into a bunch of different conversations about virality and favorite recipes and just yeah, like just curating recipes and our favorite types of food we like to create. And I mean, the time flew by. It was just a lot of fun. So anybody who's thinking about doing it, skeptical about doing it, hesitant, definitely do it because it's a lot of fun.
And we're not scary, right, Morgan?
Oh,
we're
no,
not
no,
scary.
No, it was a lot of fun. I've done a couple of other like things like that before, and it was always very like interviewee, but this was very, very much like Michelle said, just like a conversation.
So glad. That's how we want it to feel, is just like three friends chatting around the dinner table and very just informal and fun. So and all we ask is an hour of your time for this. So it's not much at all. It's just an hour, and then we work our magic. So
So anyways, feedback or any input you guys all might have, if you're interested in being on it, hit us up, let us know. We're a work in progress. We admit to that, but I think we're doing good. I feel like we're on course. We're doing a good job. So
yes, please let us know if you want to be featured for season 2, because we're going to start lining up those interviews, and we want to get you on there and share your story.
Definitely.
And please, if you do listen, please listen first of all, but if you do, please share and rate and review. Those ratings and reviews are kind of what boost us in terms of Spotify and Apple and show more people the podcast. So if you have listened and you have a chance to do that, that makes a huge difference for us.
And it is available on more than just Spotify or Apple. Did we drop that link anywhere, Pooja, that for the
Buzzsprout? I'll drop it in this, but it's basically wherever you listen to podcasts, you can find it anywhere.
Yeah.
If you have an Amazon Echo, I'm not going to say her name, but you can even ask her to play the podcast and she will. Because I will activate all of our devices at once.
We're also looking at how we can syndicate the podcast on FoodSocial too. So having a podcast dedicated page where all the episodes are going to live. And it's even possible that we'll have some way of having episodes live on your profiles someday too, where if you're on an episode, it could live on your FoodSocial profile. These are all the types of things that we're trying to think about as we move forward. So right now it's in all sort of the usual places, but thinking holistically about how they live on FoodSocial is something we're looking at too. So
yeah, it's all exciting. I feel like it's all just lots of goosebumps, really. So
lots of goosebumps, lots of tears.
Oh yeah, plenty of those. Just grab a tissue. That's all I'm gonna say. Just grab a tissue.
All right, now we're going to move on to talking about what's coming in Q4. Just really quickly, as Michelle mentioned, if you are interested in being interviewed on the podcast, just message me on Slack or message one of us on Slack and we'll get you scheduled. So first, talking about what's coming in Q4, which we are currently in. V, would you like to take the stage and just take a couple minutes to tell us about this exciting recipe contest that you all are sponsoring?
Yeah, I think almost everyone here I've spoken to. If not, I'm V and I work for Pasha Chocolate. And Pasha with Primal Palette are doing a bake-off, and sort of wanted to give you the behind the scenes that are thinking behind doing this. First of all, for any of you that don't know, I was a creator. I was an influencer, like in the OG world. I resigned about 3 years ago after a massive heart attack and started working for brands. And for me, towards the end of it, it didn't really get fun because it was always just worried about likes, and I was constantly creating and filming and making and and if it wasn't for people like Michelle that became basically my friends, like literally, like I'm closer to people on Instagram than I am people that I see every day, sort of carrying me along when times got tough, like, oh my God, no one liked it, what am I doing wrong and all that stuff. So this was like just to have fun, like fourth quarter fun, and like there's money at the end of it, like, and also competition. Competition, I don't know, I've been teaching cooking classes since 2016 all over Los Angeles. And I got to tell you, competition is what people thrive on. Like, I was surprised that when I was like, okay, it's a cooking class, but we're going to compete. As soon as you threw the compete word in, like, it just elevated it to, and friendly competition. So, We also, by putting it on FoodSocial, we're hoping to drive traffic to, because the voting will be on FoodSocial, to drive traffic to all the work that you're doing, also drive traffic to your websites, drive traffic to your social, all of us posting, just really a community collective. And Primal Palette, just like Pasha Chocolate, are husband and wife, family run businesses, organically grown. There's no one giving us money. There's, Passion Chocolate, there's like 5 of us. We're just really small. So although we would love to have deep pockets and be like, hey, well, it's just not in our wheelhouse. So working with a company like FoodSocial and doing this and having a fun atmosphere and being able to have a cash prize is really what the goal was in doing this. And the people that have signed up are so excited. And if you haven't and you want to learn more, Pooja or myself can help you. We have, quite a good group. And I think it's going to be really fun. I mean, right now, just with the influencers that are signed up, I mean, it's going to be over 1 million impressions. And the more people we can get signed up, the more it'll be. So we're just really excited about blowing FoodSocial up, having a good time. And again, this is in the spirit of fun. So it's all about fun. And we're just trying to have fun. So that's all. Unless Bill or Pooja have anything they want to add.
Just really quickly, it's really meant to be in alignment with the content that a lot of folks are making this time of year anyway. Lots of people are making content for the holidays in anticipation. And so if you want to participate, the prompt is a vegan baking recipe, and Pasha Chocolate and Primal Palette will send you products to make the recipe with. You'll share it on FoodSocial. And then there will be a voting period where your recipe will have a little voting button on it, and you can send people every day and they can vote on it. One prize will be the popular vote, whoever's recipe gets the most votes, and one prize will be awarded by the judges. And there's more information. I guess, where would people go for information? Do we have it posted anywhere yet, or do we need to share it?
There's something on the announcement page, but you can just, I'll put my email in the chat. And you can just drop me an email or on Slack, and I can send you all the information. Really, we'll just need your address too to add you to the list, because we're going to send you product, obviously. And there's also a prize for people voting. So they'll get a year's worth of, they'll get prizes too. So there's incentive for people to want to vote as well, which is kind of fun. Yeah, I'm super thrilled. And baking, it can be a dessert. It doesn't have to necessarily be baked. Anything classified as a dessert. And we are going to send you information on like vegan alternatives for bakers that maybe aren't in the vegan space. That will sort of help you along the way. So there'll be lots of support coming from us during this time too. And then you'll be interviewed in the podcast. We're going to do a live drawing on Instagram right before the holidays. So there's going to be a lot of hype happening. And then the Passion Chocolate's going to publish the recipe. We'll send it to our email list, which is about 100,000 people. We'll feature you. So, it'll just keep going after the contest, just so you know.
And we can even create a landing page on FoodSocial with all the contest rules, just to have like an easy place for creators to refer back to.
Yep. And the bottom line is no one's late yet. This is still just rolling out right now. So it's actually the perfect time to join.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'd love to have you. We really would. It's a fun group. I'm super excited. I really am. I'm just sad I can't be in it.
I'm sad I can't taste everything that everyone's making.
I'm going to hopefully make a lot of the recipes. That's what I'm looking to do.
All right. Now, Bill, do you want to chat about some fun development updates?
Yeah. Like I had said earlier in the call, we've gotten a lot of clarity on our direction over the last few months. And one thing that came about during refining our philosophy, I guess, is that we really have to be the best place for creators first, before we can conquer the food world. And so our approach really is to be the best place for creators, and then creators can bring their audience, and finally brands will want to participate. And it's sort of the evolution there is that we can kind of become a marketplace, which is really interesting too. But the near term, the next 90 days, our focus will be very strongly on development for creators. One of the first things that we're doing is we're trying to make it easier for you to not only upload your recipes, but also to have control over your own recipes too. So up to this point, when you've uploaded a recipe, it goes into some sort of approval process. Beginning potentially as early as next week, you will have the ability on the upload page to either save the recipe as a draft or publish it. And you right now you already have the ability of going back and editing the recipe, but that process has actually been just a little bit clunky. So we are trying to refine that whole process to make it instant for you all so that you have better control over what you're sharing, when you're sharing it, the editing process of it too. If you see a mistake, you don't have to go to anyone else. You can take care of it yourself. The second part of that, which is also really exciting, is that we're, I guess I'll say, beta testing a bulk uploader for recipes. And so in this first phase, it's not necessarily automated. So I'll give that a little bit of a caveat there. And it's meant to, the primary intent will be for folks who have recipe blogs, who are using some sort of plugin for their recipes. It'll be the easiest for us to do that. But you can, on the recipe upload page, there will be a prompt right at the top that says, if you're uploading more than one recipe, you can try it this way. And you can give us a list of URLs where those recipes live, and we'll run a scraper. I hate that word, but that essentially it's a script that goes to those pages and tries to populate the recipe into a draft for you. And so the way that it will work, at least in my mind, is that you can provide this list of URLs, and within a few days' time, you will end up with a bunch of drafts on your profile where you can go in and finalize them and publish them at your own pace. There will be some aspects of this that will be still a little bit hands-on, like making sure you have multiple photos. If you have multiple photos for your recipe, looking at how the ingredients import. So the big air quotes is this is in testing. But as always, we're available to help with this too. But we wanted to make it easier for all of you. If you are, longtime creators and have your own site and you have recipes you'd like to bring over, we want to make it as easy as possible for you. And so hopefully we'll be able to expand this feature in the future, depending on how much people are using it. But that's another thing that's going to be launching in conjunction with the instant publishing for recipes as well. So as always, you can reach out to Pooja or myself or anyone else on, the FoodSocial group in the Slack workspace and just let us know. And if you need a Slack invitation, I'm going to imagine most people on this call have it. But if you need a Slack invitation, just email, I guess, Pooja at foodsocial.io, and we'll get you an invitation. It's an easy place for us to all connect and talk to one another about things.
I just dropped the Slack invite link in the chat here. So if you're not already on it, then that's a really easy way to join our Slack workspace. But you can also email me for it after the call.
The other things coming forward, so that's the really creator focused stuff. If you have other ideas of things that you'd like us to help with, let us know. Actually, I'm gonna poach something off of the outline from another spot, but we do want to have a bit of a focus group for like features and getting good fit for what we're building, and we want to do that really soon. So this is another thing that we're going to assemble people in Slack, and then we'll have like a different call about it. But I think focus group is probably the best way to put it. But we do want to get your input as to not only how we're doing, but what we're doing too. Making sure that what we're developing is in alignment with what you all want too. That's really important to our team, and would hate to go too far down the road and build the wrong things. So joining our focus group in Slack, there's a channel called Get Involved. That's a place where people who are working on bounties or involved in other ways are chatting, but it's also where we're going to gather up and talk about a focus group. And it's not going to be a big time commitment either. It can even be something that's asynchronous. So you like, if you're only available in the evenings, we'll find a way for you to participate in that too. But I wanted to make sure we put that out there. So that's the creator focused stuff. In other development, looking forward to Q1 of 2024, we are trying to launch a couple of different commerce related features. One thing we're trying to do is to launch an Instacart integration on the platform so that people can shop your recipes from Instacart.
Cool.
We think we have a lead on a tie-in with an API with them. It hasn't been the top priority, but it's definitely going to be creeping up there. And so we're going to be working on that. Another thing we're trying to pursue is on-platform commerce. And that will be with brands that are currently on the platform. It'll be a Shopify integration. But we'll try and figure out how to expand it to anyone who might not be on Shopify as well. But essentially to make it so that when somebody sees an ingredient on your recipe that has an associated ad with it, that they can purchase that through FoodSocial. It's not going somewhere else. There's several benefits to that, but the most important one is it's a more seamless user experience. We want to be able to keep people engaged with the recipes and sort of in this corner of the ecosystem. So that's something that's coming as well. And finally, we do think that there's going to be a beta launch of an app for FoodSocial. So app is the smallest big scary word I can think of. Apps entail a lot of development and can be a little bit fussy, but it's a path that we've actually been down before with other groups. And we do think that we're going to be at least looking at a beta launch of an app in the next, I would say, 3 to 6 months. So if you have feedback on any of that, we always welcome it. You can give it here. You can give it now. You can give it at the end of the call. You can give it in Slack later. You can email it. You can even send me snail mail. I'll give you my address. But we welcome feedback on all of these directional things. We're building FoodSocial for you, the creators and the brands. We have been transparent about our growth and our intent from day one, and that's something that we continue to do. So as we look forward to expanding the tech and the offerings that we have, we want your feedback every step of the way. And even if you think you have an idea that, might not be a fit, we want it anyway. So that's what's coming up. We're really excited about all of it. I'm personally excited about a lot of these creator focused things. My heart is with creators and brands, and every decision that we make here is for you guys. So that's what's coming.
Very cool.
Any questions on anything that Bill talked about?
I just want to thank, even though I'm not a creator anymore, I just want to thank you guys for doing this as a former creator, because I just feel like creators are always just sort of underappreciated. I just think it almost feels a lot of times like a thankless job. So I'm excited that you're building this community for creators. And I just think it's just an excellent idea. So personally, I just want to say thank you, even though who the hell am I? Because I'm not a creator, but still, I understand that lens.
V, you may not be a creator, but your input is really important to us. So thank you. All right, now I'm just going to chat a little bit about, we've mentioned this a few times, but ways to get more involved. You've heard some creators talk about how they've been more involved with FoodSocial, and we have a bounty system that I introduced back in August. And then, as most of you know, I had surgery literally the next day and wasn't really able to implement very much. But we are going to be kind of rehashing this bounty system and adding more specifics in there. And so I will share that on Slack in the coming week. And once it's all updated and ready for you, and that's a great way to express interest and involvement. If you see something that speaks to you, or if there's not something on bounties, but you're like, hey, this is something that I'm good at and I'm interested in, literally just reach out. Like I said, there's room for you at the table, and this is a group effort to get this thing even more successful and benefit all of us. So now this is an example of a few creators who've been helping us in ways that where they've been able to use their skill sets. So Dee from Masala Paleo, she's helping us with website development and project management associated with getting like different features on the website. She's so good at project management and specifically being able to take a big task and spell it out into smaller tasks and goals. And so Dee, can you, if you're able, can you tell us a little bit about the work that you're doing?
I can, but I'm driving, so I hope you guys can hear me, but I'll be brief. I'm really excited to kind of delve into this side. You know, product management is kind of my background and passion. So I'd love to kind of bring in the customer perspective, whether it's, you know, creators or brands, like what are the customer problems, and driving kind of experimentation and innovation around what features do we want on the website, building a product backlog and all of that, along with this entire team. So there's a lot of ideas in my head, and I need to kind of structure them, and maybe at the next one we can talk about it in more detail. But just customer obsession is kind of one of my key things, and customer obsession and data obsession. So I'm hoping to bring that into the fold and then come up with a great kind of product and innovation roadmap for FoodSocial in partnership with all of you.
We are so thankful to have your expertise and your brain and passion on board, Dee. Next, I'm going to call on Allie once again. She and I have been working together on launching a philanthropy for FoodSocial in November, and we're really excited about it. So Allie, take it away.
All right. So as Pooja mentioned, we are launching November 1st, our first virtual food drive. And our hope with that food drive is to set a goal to collect 5,000 items across the country. So the food drive is going to be called FoodSocial Feeds. And we're going to be trying to keep track of all the donations that we get across the country, trying to hit at least one donation, preferably more, in every single state, to help drive some competition and just get involvement from everyone. And then we're also going to be tracking the number of donation items that we get as well. So 5,000 will be our goal, and everyone across the country can participate in two different ways. The first way will be to bring items directly to a local food pantry to you. And on our landing page, we'll have a link for you to search any of the food pantries that are in your area, just to make it easier for you to find something nearby. Or if you prefer to make a monetary donation, you can also donate a check to your local food pantry as well. So in that regard, we'll be associating $1 for one item for tracking purposes towards reaching our goal. So in order to be able to track all of the donations, we're going to be having a Google form, essentially, that everyone can send their information through. That'll allow us to help track the number of donations, the state that it was donated in. Of course, that's not going to be a requirement, but that will be really the most tangible way for us to understand how many items we're collecting and how we're tracking towards that goal. So along the way, we'll be tracking all of our progress. We'll have some visuals for that as well. But one of the biggest incentives is that participation will get you eligible for one of two prizes. And Thrive Market is sponsoring those prizes. And there'll be two winners that can each win a Thrive Market membership and a $100 gift certificate to Thrive. So 2 memberships and 2 $100 will be up for grabs as well. So if you participate in that, it's a great way to give and also potentially get back as well. But we'll be asking for all of you to help share this with your community, of course, with family, with friends, or whatever way you communicate with others to help us spread the word with that, to help us reach our goal. We'll also create some content for you to share in your stories, or if you have a newsletter that you send out, we can provide content for that as well. But really just want to make it easy for you to be able to share with your community so that we can reach as many people as possible.
Thank you,
Anything
Allie.
else I forgot, Pooja?
No, you've been amazing. She's been incredible to work with throughout this. And I'm just, I think some of you probably remember last year, maybe it was earlier this year in January, when I was like, talked to you about how philanthropy was really near and dear to my heart, and trying to find a way to incorporate that with FoodSocial. And Allie just hopped right on board, and I'm so excited about like what we're going to be doing and the way that FoodSocial can support people around the country to give back to their own communities. Like that's what matters. So thank you, Allie.
Of course.
That's basically the last thing that I wanted to talk about is for in terms of community points. So we've talked to some of you. Actually, newer creators, you might not be as familiar with this, and we can go over this in more detail at another time if you want. But we have the opportunity to earn equity in FoodSocial in the form of stock options. And so those are earned through community points. And the active membership portion, or the tier of active membership, which is like the baseline tier for earning points, you can earn 300 points in a year through just active membership alone. And that means having a minimum of 20 recipes on the platform, and then up to 10 new recipes in a given calendar year. So with the end of the year rapidly approaching, if you haven't had your 10 recipes for this year, or if you're not quite at 20 and you're interested in opting in for those stock options, then just something to keep in mind. Any questions about anything that we've gone over today? Awesome. Well, thank you all so much. Like Bill and I both said, we are always available on Slack. If you have questions, concerns, input, you want to get involved, whatever it is, you can Slack or email us literally anytime. That's what we're here for. So thank you for being here. This is like the biggest group that we've had, and it's so exciting to see all of you participate in this way. And thank you to everyone who spoke today and gave their input, and everyone who's helping make this as successful as possible.